Alright guys, welcome to another video. Coming towards the end of Ultra I guess, but I'll still try to keep making some of these videos as I try to think of stuff that you guys might want to know or be interested in. Hopefully Sagat's in Street Fighter 5, and if he is I'll fire up a video and we can talk about his moves and things like that when he comes out. I'm sure he'll be in it, but probably not in the first 16. But anyway, this is just a bunch of random stuff. I didn't really want to make one of the kind of music driven tutorials because it's easier to talk about it. It's just a bunch of random stuff that you probably might know, you might not. So there might be something in here that you might find useful. Okay, first tip, bit of spot the difference. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll spot the difference immediately. If you don't, you'll probably be scratching your head and then you might get it. And then you might wonder, why is it relevant? So, can you see the difference between these two plays? Okay, so you got it. Did you get it? It's the reversal message at the side of the screen. So, the reversal message comes into the side of the screen when someone does a move with reversal timing. Usually something like a fireball is a good example. So that means that they've immediately retaliated once they've been put in block stun or been knocked down. They've immediately retaliated with a fireball and at the first available time that they could. This is quite a common scenario generally in the game, that when people get hit they will retaliate immediately. It's kind of one of these lower level type habits where you find that you're forced, maybe you're not forced, but it's natural reaction to be pressing something as soon as you get hit, you know, like shit, I better do something. That's kind of what separates off better players from poorer players, that they can have a wait and see. But the reason that the reversal message is relevant is because then you can react to the reversal message. It's quite hard, but if you are trying to find a way of using Ultra 2 to blow through a fireball, for example, then you can train yourself to look for the reversal message instead of the animation, because sometimes animations can fool you and you'll buffer the motion and you'll see Ryu do something and you'll ultra and you'll miss because you thought he fireballed and he didn't. You know, you got baited basically, or you buffered it and you just hit it anyway because your reactions aren't very good. So this reversal message system is another way of using things like Kara uppercuts and ultras to take advantage of the game system, the game controls. Quick one, Sagat's single heaviest damage normal, and probably one of the most damaging in the game, is his neutral jump fierce. It does 140 damage, which is absolutely insane. It does even more than that if you anti-air with it. Bang, 140. And if you watch this, replay, oh, not record. Bang, how's that for an anti-air? Not as much as the jump back doesn't do as much. It's got to be the neutral. So very, very good button, especially for things like that move I'm showing you there. Bison, when he goes up in that devil's reverse. Anybody that Guy flips. So neutral jump fierce, one of the most damaging normals. Okay, some juggles that you might not be aware of. Some are important, some are not. Some are very specific, but it's handy to know about them. So I'll just go through some juggles that are quite unique and you don't see very often, especially because either you might not know about them or you've just never found yourself in that scenario. can actually cancel his Karas, FADC them. I think I saw it one time in a proper match, but it's basically useless. I think it caught the player by surprise because he did a throw after, so I'll just show you what I mean. You know, you might get away with that. Something like that, I don't know. It's just a bit of a gimmick, but it's something you might not know about it. Okay, Tiger Knee block strings. What ones to do? Now, the problem with Tiger Knee is lots of things. It's never really been fixed, to be honest, but I think that's more to do with this fucked up hurt boxes of characters in this game rather than the actual move. If they all had boxes like Rose, for example, then we could do a lot more with Tiger Knee block strings, but as it is, they're not bad, they're not great, you know, it's not amazing. Like in the old game Vanilla, he had like absolutely insane Tiger Knee block strings, all this kinds of frame advantage and loops, and it was pretty insane. So I'll just show you the three types of, or the main three types. There's actually probably 4 types of blocking involved in Tiger Knee block strings, but these are the 3 types. So first off, you've got safe one hit. Safe one hit means that the last hit of the knee, the first hit doesn't come out and the last hit hits on the way down. It would look, this is about a medium knee space in here, and it would look something like this. That is safe. That is not safe, obviously. So that's your usual kind of, if you're at mid-range and you're going to throw Tiger Knee out, that's about the spacing. Now, I like to sometimes cancel mine off of medium. So say medium kick, you just double tap. So if you know the range of a medium kick is also about the range, if you cancel it, it will be fine if they're crouch blocking. So like that. That's a simple Tiger Knee block string. You got a bit of space back. This one is unsafe. This is not a safe Tiger Knee block string, which you probably know. 2 hits on the way up is not safe ever. They're going to be able to throw you after that or hit confirm. Not safe. That's light. That's medium. Nobody will use the heavy in Tiger Knee block strings. I should have mentioned that at the start. The heavy kick, rule it out of Tiger Knee block strings. That's just your whiff punisher. Now this third type is the best type, and unfortunately it does not work on all the characters. I'll see if I can compile a list of the characters it does work on. I just kind of remember, and even then I'm not very good at remembering. That's the problem with this game. Too much character specific stuff. But Rose, for example, I will show you a perfect Tiger Knee block string out of normals that she cannot do anything about. You see how the 2 hits have a space in the middle? That is perfect, because unlike the first one, with the 2 hits hit quick, but these 2 hits are spaced, and it makes the Tiger Knee safe. But they can't do anything in between them hits. They're in block stun. So as soon as Sagat comes back down again from the double hit in Tiger Knee, he can start pressuring again. And if you watch Super Santa-Ru Man against Luffy, the big match at EVO, he used this block string lots on Rose because it is extremely powerful. She can't do anything about that in between. So that is your ideal Tiger Knee block string. When that knee hits once, then there's a small pause, then hits on the way down. It's perfect. Beautiful. So obviously if you do block strings too close to the character, then you're going to get punished. I'll just show you here. Too close. He's going to punish you for that. So you've really got to space him out to about here. That was because I pushed the button after, but you know, if you're going to do stuff in here, you're going to get punished. Okay, just a couple of simple block strings. There is lots of possibilities with Tiger Knee block strings, but if you want just a couple of a basic string of things that I would use something like three crouching light kicks, then cancel the medium kick into knee, and then after that you can do light kick, light punch, medium knee. Light knee. So it would look like this. This is just basic stuff, you know. Like there's you have to try them yourself. So say right, you threw them or your combo done. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, something like that. So guys, I'll just show you some random Tiger Knee block strings and just have a practice. Usually the formula would be a couple of lights followed by a medium, followed by either medium knee or light knee, and it really depends the spacing. Or you could do three lights followed and the last light cancelled into a knee. So have a play around and see what you can come up with. But it's a very powerful tool, and even if you just start off, like I said, with a basic crouching medium kick into Tiger Knee, or even crouching medium punch, and then maybe a couple of lights and a light kick Tiger Knees. So start with that. So something like this. There's a basic kind of double string. And the thing with Tiger Knee block strings is why it's important is because it will put you in range for a throw. So once you start mixing in throws with the Tiger Knee block strings, people start taking, and when people start taking, you obviously then catch them with the lows, and a bit gimmicky, but does work, especially on online, and you know it'll work in general. But once you've got two bars, you can then, if you've mixed up your taking and your throws, your knees with throws, and get them to start doing things, then you can cancel backdash into ultra in the corner into ultra, and that'll hit, you know, because they've just decided to press something. So you might even get them to hit a reversal or something like that. So have a work on them. Okay, I use this one quite a lot. Again, a little bit sneaky, especially for players that aren't wise to it. Often as a Sagat player or any type of character that has a 2-bar ultra or a cancelable DP, people will watch your meter, and that is a very big part of the game. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but watching people's meter is very important. You know, you can tell what resources they have at any given time. So in this example, Ryu's about to knock me down, and I don't have 2 bars, but the uppercut builds meter before the FADC. So what you're essentially doing is you are uppercutting without 2 bars. The uppercut makes the 2 bars, then you can cancel it. So because you know special moves build meter. So what they're looking at your meter saying, okay, he cannot wake up uppercut because he doesn't have 2 bars. When in fact the uppercut will build you that 2 bars. It works quite a bit. I see people come up and pressure me with 2 bars and a full ultra, which is silly against Sagat. And then they'll get hit by it because they weren't expecting it, and I'll show you what I mean here. So just before I do it, you can see there's about maybe not a fifth, maybe an eighth of a bar left there. And when Ryu knocks me down, it will build a small bit of meter, and when I uppercut, it will also build the meter. Watch. So he thinks, alright, I'm going to just knock him down, and he can't, he's not going to have that resource. You see? A very, very handy trick against a player that's not aware of how that system works. So I'll give that one a bash, boys. Okay, some kind of old school Street Fighter cancelling here. If your opponent's near death, and you have 3 bars or more, you can pretty much get a guaranteed chip kill, even if they wake up differently, by cancelling the fireball immediately. This has been used for a long time. You very rarely see it because Sagat needs his meter, you know, but if you've got someone down to the chip damage at the end and you have lots of meter left, it is an option. It just basically goes something like this. Imagine, you know, you're Sagat, you're throwing him, guy gets up, if he jumps over the fireball, he eats an uppercut. If he blocks it, he's dead. You know, like, it's kind of like a checkmate, almost. There's not much he can do unless he's got some kind of invincible move that he can blast through. You know, he's got the resources, then it is a handy thing to know. Alright guys, last tip, and this one is more of the psychology of the game. And it's just to let you know that you should have a colour. You know, why does Bonchan always wear the red? Or why does Dago always wear the white Ryu, you know, or the whatever alts they pick, they're always the same. Well, I guess for me, the way I look into that is, that's their way of focusing for the match. You know, if you're in a tournament, or if you've got a big match and you want to beat someone, you know, get a colour and that's your colour, and that is what you you know, that helps you concentrate before the match. So mine's is the alt 1, the kind of alpha, the yellow and blue long pants. So just small things like that can help your, you know, your psychology. And when you want to, this is also for when you want to test something. Say you don't care about losing, or you want to test your tag and block strings on a real opponent. Pick a different. I actually pick original Sagat 1, the first original, you know, just normal costume, and I let everything go. You know, I'm like, okay, if I get beat, whatever, I just want to try some stuff today. And then, you know, it's a silly thing, but it might work for someone, you know. And then when, you know, you meet that guy that you want to beat, bam, get your costume on, get your colour picked. You know, shit's getting serious now. That's a really, it could be viewed as silly tip, but I think it matters because you look at the pros, they do it, you know, and there's a reason for it, because it helps them get into that zone, you know. And the same goes for the character select screen. If you've picked your character, you know, wait for them to pick the character before you pick your ultra, obviously, because if you go pick Tiger Destruction and he picks Dasum, you're fucked from the start. But use this time here to decide, okay, so who did he pick? Right, he's gonna pick Rose. He picked Rose, so start running through some things in your head, like, okay, Rose, I can use that special block string on Rose, or I can pressure Rose on wake up for free because her wake up options are quite poor. Start thinking about, I don't really want to give Rose a lot of meter, even if it's just 3 or 4 things. Think now. This is how I'm going to approach this match, and do that all the time. If you just jump on and play randomly, that's fine, maybe you just want to have a bit of fun, but if you want to get better and you really want to take things seriously, then having a critical think about what's happening is important, you know. Even when it goes to the stage select, give it the 10 seconds. If you know, what's even here, okay, what's she going to do at the start of the match? How's it going to run? What are the meter situations? And now when it kicks off, you've got a bit of preparation, you know. You've done some kind of thought about it. So have a try, guys. You know, it's all about getting better, and I hope you enjoyed the vid, and we'll see you next time.